Our next topic is the remedies of the lease. Allow me to present it with voiceover.
Necessary, NCC Art. 1662-1. Repairs last for not more than 40 days. C is obligated to tolerate the work, although it may be annoying to him, and although during the same time he may be deprived of a part of the premise. Repairs last for 40 days or more. C can ask for a reduction of the rent in proportion to the time, including the first 40 days, of the part of the property of which he is deprived. In either case, rescission may be availed if the main purpose of the lease is to provide a dwelling place and the property becomes uninhabitable. To make urgent repairs, the lessee may 1. Order repairs at the lessor's cost, 2. Sue for damages, 3. Suspend the payment of the rent, or 4. Ask for rescission in case of substantial damage to him. Silent as to who will pay for repair expenses, the lessee may 1. Major repairs, shouldered by the lessor, and 2. Minor repairs, shouldered by the lessee. Lessor fails to make major or necessary repairs, lessee may ask for 1. Rescission of contract and indemnification for damages, or 2. Indemnification only, while the contract remains in force, NCC Art. Total destruction, 1. The lease is extinguished if the thing is totally destroyed, and 2. The lessee of the lot and building which has been totally destroyed by a fortuitous event cannot be considered as lessee of the land after the building had been totally destroyed by the fortuitous event. Wilson v. Construction. The lease is not extinguished. Lessee is given the option to choose between a proportionate reduction of the rent and rescission of the lease. The choice of the lessee has been communicated to the lessor. The former cannot change it. NCC Art.1201. Reduction of rent is chosen. The same shall be retroactive to the date the partial destruction occurred. In case of rescission, the general rule is that it will not be granted for slight or trivial causes. Partial destruction, under the circumstances, should be important or substantial as to defeat the purpose of the lessee in entering into the contract of lease. The choice repairs. The lessor fails to maintain the lessee in peaceful and adequate enjoyment of the property leased. 1. Case of repairs, time we meet the demand for said repairs, and the demand went unheeded, or 2. Case of eviction, the time the final judgment for eviction becomes effective. Terminate the lease, NCC Art. 61. Notice to the lessor in case the dwelling place or building is unfit for human habitation and is dangerous to life or health, or 2. If at the time the contract was perfected, the lessee knew of the dangerous condition or waived the right to rescind. Reduced, and may take place in a case of forcible entry, or will not be held liable. The lessee must look to the expropriator for his compensation. KOB, Manila Railroad Company, GR number 17357, June 21, 1922. Trespass in law, disturbance in law. A third person claims a legal right to enjoy the premises. The lessor is responsible for trespass in law, Horace, 2008. terminates the unrecorded lease. Lessee may demand that he be allowed to gather the fruits of the harvest which corresponds to the current agricultural year, and that the vendor indemnifies him for damages suffered. NCC Art. 1676-2. Improvements. Production of valuable improvement on the leased premises does not give the lessee the right of retention and reimbursement which rightfully belongs to the builder in good faith. Such a situation would allow the lessee to easily improve the lessor out of its property. William, 2017. So it shall pay the lessee one half of the value of the improvements computed at the time of the termination of the lease if the following conditions are fulfilled: that the lessee should have made the useful improvements in good faith. Improvements are suitable to the purpose or use for which the lease is intended, and that the form and substance of the thing leased are not altered or modified. To retain the useful improvements by paying one half of their value. The lessee cannot compel the lessor to appropriate the purchase for the improvements. The lessee has no right to reimbursement for ornamental expenses, wherein the expenses incurred cater only to the personal comfort, convenience, or enjoyment of a person. He remove them provided he does not cause any damage to the thing leased. So, if he so desires, he will retain them after paying their value to the lessee at the time the lease is extinguished.